Second impeachment of Donald Trump is hours away, and this morning we're asking you, do you think it's necessary? Vote now in our live poll. Democrats argue Trump's spent months laying out the groundwork for the January insurrection, and that the rioters on Capitol Hill were spurred on that day by his words.
You don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Okay, well, here to help us better understand what is happening is University of North Texas political science professor Kimi. Good morning. Thanks for being back with us.
You betcha.
Okay, so let's talk about what we can expect to see today.
So you're going to see much of the process lay out fairly quickly because it's been put in the form of an expedited trial. We don't have all the usual trappings of the trial there. You won't see the Chief Justice there today. You're going to have the senior President pro tempore of the Senate, Senator Leahy, be the one presiding over it. They're going to lay out their case. They have strict time limits about it. But you're going to also see a lot of speechifying, and people are going to stay focused on the larger political issue because it's very clear that they probably do not have the votes to go ahead and convict.
So as you mentioned, not having the votes is very likely. The GOP seems to be wary of Trump's influence. That is the question. Is there really a chance that impeachment will actually succeed?
You know, impeachment's never really succeeded in terms of the conviction. Remember, we've had 15 federal judges, a U.S. senator, a cabinet officer, and then, of course, 3 presidents. We've only ever seen 8 convictions in the Senate, and those were for federal judges. Impeachment and conviction has always been an extraordinary measure because you have to get that critical 2/3, and that kind of supermajority is always difficult to get.
Now, Lindsey Graham from South Carolina says that if the former president is guilty of a crime, he really should be prosecuted like anyone else, and that impeachment is a political process. So I've also heard experts weigh in and say, well, that would be really difficult to prove it in a criminal case when we're talking about incitement. What do you say to that?
Yeah, the Brandenburg Standard requires an incitement that is likely to produce imminent lawless action. And so you're going to look at the words, and it is difficult to prove in court. That being said, there is constitutional precedent for convicting someone after they've been out of office. It actually came up in 1876, and at that time, it was accepted, and we have convicted people in the past as well. But we are in an uncertain world legally. Chief Justice John Roberts has indicated that he is going to stay out of this issue. But for the most part, the Senate and the House get to decide their own rules about these sorts of situations historically. And by the way it looks that it's playing out right now, we're heading towards a logical conclusion that they will go through this, but we will not convict. It will be over quickly, but that a conviction is highly unlikely.
All right, Ms. King, good to see you again. Thank you so much this morning for being with us and giving us some insight. We asked you this morning if you think a second impeachment trial is necessary. The majority of you who weighed in said yes. Thanks for voting on going online to do that for us. Let's go.